Every once in a while, archaeologists, and sometimes curious amateurs, come across some truly bizarre discoveries. Sometimes the finding is so puzzling that they are unable to explain what it is they've found or how it even came to exist. These artifacts defy logic, challenge our understanding of history, and leave us with more questions than answers. From artifacts that defy the tools of their time to creations with origins that seem almost extraterrestrial, here are the 15 ancient artifacts that push the boundaries of what we think we know about our world.
Number 15. The London Hammer. In June 1936, or possibly 1934 depending on the account, Max Hahn and his wife Emma stumbled upon something truly peculiar during a walk. They noticed a rock with a piece of wood sticking out, decided to bring it home, and later cracked it open with a hammer and chisel. To their astonishment, they uncovered what appeared to be an ancient hammer encased in stone. What's even more puzzling is that the rock surrounding the hammer was dated to the Ordovician period, over 400 million years ago. The hammer itself was claimed to be over 500 million years old, and its handle partially turned to coal. Critics argue the dating might be flawed, suggesting minerals in ancient limestone formed a concretion around the tool, creating an illusion of extreme age. Adding to the intrigue, the hammer's head is 96% pure iron, a level of refinement seemingly impossible without modern technology. Now displayed in the Creation Evidence Museum, the hammer remains off-limits for further testing, leaving us with more questions than answers. Until new tests are allowed, this artifact remains a puzzling enigma. Number 14. The Antikythera Mechanism. When divers explored a shipwreck off the Greek island of Antikythera in 1901, they discovered a corroded, gear-filled device. Dating back over 2,100 years, it turned out to be a sophisticated astronomical calculator adept at predicting cosmic events. Dubbed the Antikythera Mechanism, its complexity rivals that of 18th century clockwork. The device forced historians to re-evaluate ancient Greek engineering. Crafted with intricate gears and dials, it suggests a precise level of technological skill far beyond what was believed possible at the time. In fact, Professor Michael Edmonds described it as a masterpiece, stating, "The design is stunning, and the astronomy is spot on." Even more intriguing, no similar artifacts from the era have ever been found. So the real question is, how did the ancient Greeks, with basically no technology available, manage to build such a complex calculator? Well, we don't know yet, but when we do, we'll be sure to let you know. Number 13. The Dropa Stones. In 1938, a Chinese expedition led by Dr. Chipu Te explored the Bayankara Ula Mountains and stumbled upon a discovery that sparked worldwide curiosity. Inside the caves, they found not one, but hundreds of stone discs, each 9 inches in diameter with a spiral groove and a central hole. Upon closer examination, researchers found that the grooves contained tiny hieroglyphics. When translated, these hieroglyphics allegedly recounted the story of the Dropa, extraterrestrial beings whose spaceship crashed in the hills over 10,000 years ago. Yet the announcement by researcher Tsun Nui was met with ridicule, and he eventually retreated into exile in Japan. Some of the stones were sent to Moscow for further study, where they reportedly produced a humming sound when placed on turntables, as though charged with electricity. Yet, the research was never published, and the stones disappeared. Adding to the mystery, Austrian engineer Ernst Wegerer claimed to have photographed 2 of the stones in 1974. But both the discs and the museum manager, who allowed access, vanished by 1994. To this day, The existence of the Dropa stones remains unconfirmed, their story buried under layers of secrecy and skepticism. Number 12. The Nazca Lines. Spanning over 450 square kilometers of Peruvian desert, the Nazca Lines are among the most awe-inspiring archaeological mysteries. Discovered in the 1930s, these huge geoglyphs depict animals, plants, and geometric shapes. Some stretch over 200 meters long and are only visible from above, sparking endless speculation about their purpose. Were they astronomical markers, ceremonial pathways, or offerings to the gods? Their scale and precision raise questions about how they were created without aerial guidance. Recent discoveries of over 150 new lines have only deepened the intrigue. The Nazca people, who lived between 200 BC and 600 AD, left no written records explaining their intent. Some theorize the lines align with constellations, while others suggest they serve a ritualistic purpose. The truth remains elusive. What we do know is that these bizarre ancient designs connect us to a past that continues to inspire and mystify. Number 11. The Baghdad Battery. This small clay jar, barely 5.5 inches tall, hides a fascinating mystery. Inside, archaeologists found a copper cylinder secured with asphalt, holding an oxidized iron rod. Discovered near Baghdad, it sparked intrigue when Wilhelm Koenig suggested in 1940 that it might have been a galvanic cell, a crude battery capable of producing electricity if filled with an acidic liquid. The idea isn't far-fetched. Replicas of the so-called Baghdad Battery have successfully generated small electric charges, leading some to believe it may have been used for electroplating metals. However, skeptics argue it's simply a storage jar, with no evidence of its intended purpose. What keeps this artifact fascinating is the what if. Could ancient societies have stumbled upon electricity? Or is this an overreach, applying modern understanding to a simple vessel? Without definitive evidence, it remains a tantalizing glimpse into the possibility of forgotten technologies. Number 10. The Sakara Bird. Discovered in 1898 in a tomb at Sakara, Egypt, the Sakara Bird is a wooden artifact dating back to around 200 BC. Shaped like a bird and weighing just under 40 grams, it has a wingspan of more than 7 inches. While it may look unassuming, this relic has sparked debates about its goal and the technological knowledge of ancient Egyptians. With its vertical tail resembling that of a modern airplane, some researchers speculate it could represent knowledge of aviation. Dr. Khalil Messiha, an Egyptian archaeologist, suggested it might even be evidence of ancient Egyptian experiments with flight. However, there's little concrete proof to support these claims. Others believe the bird served as a ceremonial object or a child's toy, but the lack of proper documentation when it was discovered leaves room for speculation. Until more evidence is found, the Sakara Bird remains a bizarrely fascinating piece of Egypt's enigmatic history. Number 9. Unexplainable fossils and metal objects. Geology has revealed many wonders, but some discoveries don't fit neatly into the timeline of Earth's history. Take, for example, a fossilized human handprint found in limestone over 110 million years old, or a fossilized human finger and what appears to be a sandal print, dated to over 300 million years ago. These finds baffle scientists as they seem impossibly out of place. Then there are the metallic anomalies, strange tubular structures dug up in France, and a metal cube discovered inside a coal lump believed to be 65 million years old. How do such objects appear in formations that predate humanity? Skeptics argue these finds could be misidentified or naturally occurring phenomena. But for others, they're clues to something deeper. perhaps gaps in our understanding of history or geology itself. While answers remain elusive, these discoveries challenge us to keep questioning what we think we know about Earth's ancient past. Number 8. The Perirace Map. In 1929, a map drawn on gazelle skin was uncovered in Istanbul, attributed to Perirace, an Ottoman admiral. Created in 1513, it depicts Europe, North Africa, and parts of South America with amazing accuracy. But the most puzzling detail, Antarctica appeared on the map centuries before its documented discovery. Even stranger, the map shows Antarctica's landmass without ice, suggesting knowledge of a geography unseen for over 6,000 years. While some dismiss this as coincidence or misinterpretation, others view it as evidence of forgotten exploration or ancient knowledge passed down through generations. Perirace credited earlier maps as his sources, possibly from lost civilizations. While the map's overall accuracy varies, the Antarctic detail remains the biggest enigma. How did an Ottoman admiral chart something that defies historical records? This artifact continues to spark debate, challenging our understanding of what ancient explorers may have known about the world. All right, guys, now let's move to Number 7. The mysterious city of Nanmadol. Nanmadol, a city built on a coral reef near Micronesia, remains one of the ancient world's greatest enigmas. Constructed between 200 BCE and 800 CE, it consists of around 100 artificial islands made of massive basalt blocks weighing up to 50 tons each. These blocks were meticulously stacked, forming canals and structures that still defy explanation. How these stones were quarried, transported, and placed in such a remote location remains a mystery. Equally puzzling is the lack of fresh water or food on the site, suggesting resources had to be transported from the mainland. The sheer effort required to sustain such a city raises questions about its purpose and the civilization behind it. While some speculate Nanmadol hints at a sunken continent or lost civilization, no evidence supports these claims. The city stands as a testament to human ingenuity and leaves us wondering about the motivations and methods of its builders. Its silent ruins continue to guard the secrets of its creators. Now let's talk about Number 6. The Saxiwan Walls. The Saxiwan Walls near Cusco, Peru, are a marvel of ancient engineering. At an altitude of over 3,500 meters, these three concentric limestone walls stretch for 360 meters, with stones weighing up to 300 tons each. What's amazing is their construction without mortar. The stones fit together so perfectly that even a blade can't pass between them. Spanish conquistadors, upon discovering the site, were stunned by the skill and precision involved. Despite modern tech, attempts to replicate these tightly fitted joints have failed. How the Inca achieved such precision remains a mystery. The purpose of the walls is also debated. Some believe they were part of a fortress, while others suggest they held religious or ceremonial significance. Whatever their goal, the Saxiwan Walls stand as a reminder of the creativity and architectural knack of ancient civilizations, leaving us in awe of what humanity could achieve without modern tools. Number 5. The Diva Flute. In 1995, archaeologists in Slovenia unearthed a cave bear femur with holes in it. Was it just a bone? Or was it the world's oldest musical instrument? Well, that's the Diva Flute, a 50,000-year-old artifact that might prove Neanderthals had rhythm. Some experts believe the holes were gnawed by animals, but others argue they were intentionally carved with tools, making this a bona fide flute. If true, It would rewrite what we know about Neanderthals, showing they weren't just hunters, but also musicians who possibly enjoyed a prehistoric jam session around the fire. Of course, the debate continues, with no definitive answer in sight. Whether it's a genuine instrument or just a chewed-up bone, the Divji Babe flute makes us rethink early humans' capacity for creativity. And let's be honest, if it was a flute, we can only imagine what kind of tunes echoed through that ancient cave. We just love music. And what about you? Number 4. Nuragic Bronze statuettes. If you've ever wondered about the sea peoples, the mysterious marauders who wreaked havoc across the Mediterranean, you might want to take a closer look at Sardinia. The island's Nuragic Bronze statuettes depict warriors with horned helmets, strikingly similar to how the Shurden, one of the sea peoples, was portrayed by Ramses III. Did the Shurden originate in Sardinia, or did they settle there after their raids? The connection between the Nuragic culture and the Shurden has historians scratching their heads. The name itself, Shardien, appears on both Egyptian records and Sardinian artifacts, but the timeline remains murky. What we do know is that these horned warriors left behind some incredible art. Whether they were native Sardinians or just liked the island enough to make it home, the Nuragic statuettes keep us guessing about the origins of one of history's most mysterious groups. Number 3. Mithis liturgy papyrus. The Mithis liturgy papyrus is a relic shrouded in secrecy, much like the god Mithras himself. Worshipped primarily by Roman soldiers, Mithras was a deity at the heart of a secretive religion that left little written evidence behind. This text, dating from the 2nd to 4th centuries CE, is one of the few surviving artifacts that might shed light on Mithraic practices. The papyrus describes a mystical soul journey through 7 stages, culminating in divine revelation. Scholars have debated its meaning for decades. Some argue it's a glimpse into Mithraic theology, while others suggest it might not even be related to Mithras. It could be a spiritual guide, an allegory, or something else entirely. Every aspect of the Mithis liturgy papyrus, from its origins to its purpose, is a puzzle. Without more context, this ancient text remains a tantalizing fragment of a long-lost spiritual tradition. Number 2. Rongorongo texts. Easter Island is famous for its Moai statues, but its writing system, rongorongo, is an even bigger mystery. Found carved on wooden objects, the script is made up of hieroglyphic symbols arranged in a serpentine pattern called boustrophodon. Basically, the ancient version of read this way, then that way. Some say the island's first settlers brought the script with them, but most experts think it developed locally. Either way, no one knows what it says. Are they records of daily life, spiritual texts, or ancient grocery lists? Your guess is as good as anyone's. What's frustrating is that the knowledge to read rongorongo likely disappeared with Rapa Nui's early inhabitants. Decoding it could unlock secrets about Easter Island's history, but for now, it remains as silent as the statues that share its home. A poignant reminder of a culture's lost voice. Number 1. The Fisto's Disc. The Minoans, an ancient civilization that loved frescoes, huge palaces, and probably throwing the best parties on Crete, remain one of history's greatest enigmas. Despite their impressive cultural legacy, their writing system, Linear A, is a language that no one has been able to crack. And as if that wasn't challenging enough, along comes the Fisto's Disc to make things even more complicated. Discovered at the site of Phaistos, this clay disc features symbols arranged in a spiral. It's not linear A or B, but something else entirely, an exclusive code that linguists have been trying to break for decades. Is it a hymn, a calendar, a dinner menu? No one knows. Its meaning remains a mystery. But one thing's clear. The Fistos disc is the ancient equivalent of an unsolvable crossword puzzle. If we ever decode it, we might finally uncover secrets about the Minoans, or at least learn what they ate for breakfast. If you find this video interesting, please like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you soon.